Hey YouTube, this is my first video on gaming. I've been gaming for a very long time and I've seen a lot of changes in the gaming industry. Not particularly happy with the direction that I've seen the gaming industry going in lately. It seems to be going overwhelmingly for the pretty graphics point of view. Story secondarily, and the usefulness and interesting interesting aspects of the actual mechanics seem to be tertiary. They're barely in consideration, it seems. Anyway, this particular first review is of a game that many of you have probably played. And it is not new. It's been out for, I don't know, a year and a half. I played it pretty extensively, and one of the glaring problems to me was right in the special tree. If you played Fallout 4, you know the special tree is the attributes and how you level up. Anyway, charisma is done very poorly in Fallout 4, and it seems to me that they were trying to actually fix some of the problems with charisma, because charisma has been a dump stat for a lot of people for a lot of reasons for a long time. I don't think they fixed it successfully, and so here's a few of my points. If you've been reading ahead while you've been listening, or maybe you've been just reading and have it muted, the first and biggest problem with the charisma attribute in Fallout 4 as it stands right now is that the thing that it offers most for combat utility is not usable in VATS, which means it's not very useful. If you can't use it in VATS on a build that's already dumped a tremendous number of points into a stat that really isn't combat related, taking lots of bullets is not a good option. And that's what's going to happen while you try to actually target the enemies and get them to flip, which is a problem for additional reasons, in that it's very hit and miss on whether or not they do in fact flip. If there's any interest, I'll actually do videos showing the gameplay repercussions of this, what it actually looks like and why it's such a problem. The whole game, on to the second point, the whole game is centered around a settlement concept. It's not mandatory, but it is a big part of the game, and you knock a substantial amount of playtime off the game if you don't do it. You are expected to do it. Now, where that enters into the scenery is because of the local leader perk. The local leader perk is something that they tried to force in order to make charisma more attractive, and it's not more attractive, it's just punitive. It makes no sense that a charismatic leader knows how to build a workbench for an armor. It makes no sense that an armorer does not know how to build a workbench for an armorer. But it's one of those mechanics that they've done to try to make a stat that they have not developed properly seem attractive. It's just a tax. And this is common in the gaming industry in recent years, in my observations, across any number of games. Certainly most of the games I've purchased in the past 5 years. So, what else? Right. So the third point is companions. AI in general has really been poorly done in video games of late, and based upon my own observations, I would say it's actually even intentional. It's hard to imagine why you would make AI bad intentionally, but that seems like the most reasonable way to see it when you consider what was done in, for example, Fallout 4. In Fallout 4, companion AI, actually all AI, is linked to your crosshair. So it's very easy to see. If you point your crosshair at your companions, they move out of the way. Usually you would be pointing your crosshair at your companions when you're trying to get your companions to come to you, which is, in other words, the most irritating thing that could possibly happen at that moment. It's bad. On the flip side, if you point your crosshair away from your companions, it means generally that you do not want to be aiming at your companions. This is when they're going to run to your crosshair. When they're not in your crosshair, they run to your crosshair. When they are in your crosshair, they run away from your crosshair. In other words, they are doing the opposite of what you want them to do at all times. Or are approaching doing. If they're not in the process of doing the thing you don't want, they're approaching doing it. Because of the constant back and forth of that paradigm. The same thing happens with the enemy AI, only reversed. If you point your crosshairs at an enemy, they're going to try to get out of the way. Matter of fact, actually, that's not reversed. My apologies. They're going to get out of the way. They're going to get out of the way even if they don't know that you're pointing, or shouldn't know that you're pointing your crosshair at them. They clearly do. This is also something that you can test. You approach an enemy, you see the enemy is unaware of you, you're in stealth, you don't point a weapon at them, they don't move. You point a weapon at them, they move. The same instant that you point a weapon at them, they move. It's presumably to create challenge. It's the only reason I could possibly think of. The problem is it's not real challenge, and it is really annoying. It breaks verisimilitude. It's completely unrealistic. And it's not fun. For me. Maybe you enjoy it. I can't imagine you do. I imagine what happens is that you enjoy other aspects of it and are able to ignore that. For me, it's impossible to miss. And it reduces the enjoyment in any other part of it. I would like to see that stop, and so hopefully we can get some consensus on that, and maybe the game companies will hear us and turn it around. I think they're going for attractive gameplay because it's basically addictive. I'm not saying, oh, I have to game. What I'm saying is that when you've played games at a certain level of graphics, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back to a previous level of graphics and accept that even if the gameplay is superior. It's just an objective truth. And they know this, so as long as they put out the best graphics, they don't have to worry about writing, and they don't have to worry about balancing, and they don't have to worry about AI, and they don't have to worry about logic, and they don't have to worry about in-game economies making any sense, or the whether or not you should briefly just throw this out there. I'll actually do a little bit more on Witcher at some point, but Witcher has a system that you have to accumulate your own resources, you have to spend money, you have to be a certain level, and this is a nonsense system, and it's all over the place. Anyway, more later.